How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to my third ever FPL video, and this game week I am making my 29 lineup. As we can see on the screen, my game week 28 side scored 89 points, which is well above the average points of 53, and I jumped all the way up to 373k last week, which is incredible, and I'm looking to go even better this week. So what we're going to see is this is the squad I had last week. Neto obviously got the red card, so he's unavailable for this week against Aston Villa. And with the deadline later today in 6 hours' time, I've got lots of problems because my three Man U players play Newcastle away, which isn't great. Semenyo, midweek fixture, Man City, Pep, rotation risk. My goalie and back five are going to stay the same, but it's sort of this midfield four, and I'm going to keep Etikite up front. Do I start Krupi against Brentford? Now let's get into my team. Now this is the team I've got so far. I had one transfer available and I used that to sell Ashley Barnes, who was my third choice striker. Never played him. I had a little bit of budget, so I upgraded him to Calvert-Lewin. I liked the look of Calvert-Lewin last week against Man City, especially in the first half. Looked really dangerous, and the main reason I've actually done that is because in game week 31, Man City and Arsenal blank. And as you can see, I've got 3 Arsenal, 2 Man City. That's 5 players that blank in game week 31, 2 weeks' time. And I need solutions for that problem. Now, for that game week, I'm going to have Dubravka that can play in goals. I then have Bruno and Mbeumo, Cunha, Neto, who can play. And then my front three will all be available alongside Kanate and Virgil van Dijk if they all stay fit and avoid suspensions. So that'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'd have 10 players as it stands, and a very, very strong bench, which wouldn't obviously be playing. So bringing Calvert-Lewin enables me to, again, have one extra player come game week 31. And Calvert-Lewin's games for the next 3 weeks are nice. Got Sunderland, Brentford, and then one other, Bournemouth maybe. And I'm going to be wildcard in game week 32, I think, and then free hit in game week 34 when about 8 teams play out of the 20. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath for people who don't plan accordingly, which is why I'm 300 odd K right now overall. But when these chips, the wildcard, the bench boost, and the free hit, I use them, I should jump even higher in my opinion. And I'm going to look to close in on the top 50k come the end of the season and beat my 67k score last season. But anyway, going on to the team. Last week you'll see I had a 5-4-1 with Mbeumo, Cunha, Fernandes, Semenyo and Etikite as the lone striker. This week I've changed. I've taken these two out of midfield, put in Krupi off the bench and brought in Calvert-Lewin, who I have captained right now. Now, captaincy wise, like who did I cap? I'm not cap. Like you can see, I've obviously mentioned Mbeumo and Cunha away to Newcastle. St James's Park, even on Newcastle in the last 5, have conceded the most out of every team in the Premier League. Newcastle, St James's Park, under the lights against Man U. Now, I was actually at the game last year when Harvey Barnes scored twice and Man U got destroyed 4-1. And yes, it was under Ruben Amorim. Yes, they played the back 5. But watching the Man United's last 3 games, they look flat. Which everyone's going to say, oh, but they've won 2, they've drawn 1 at the last 3. But they wouldn't have won on Saturday or at the weekend if Lacroix didn't get red carded. Palace were the much better team up to that point. United created nothing in the first half. And I just think away to Newcastle, the atmosphere, the energy of the Newcastle team, I don't think Man U are going to live with it, to be honest. Especially if Martinez is out and Lenny Yoro is going to start. So for me, I'm happy to bench those 2, chuck Krupi in and hope he starts, and then obviously sign Calvert-Lewin with an idea of having him for the next 3 game weeks before obviously wildcard and get rid of him. But then going on to captaincy, I don't fancy Bruno away to Newcastle. Semenyo, again, Forest, their fullbacks are good. Nico Williams, Ola Aina, very good. Semenyo, I don't know. he might even be benched because it's Pep and it's a midweek fixture. So that rules out them two being captains. Krupe not captaining him, Etikite not captaining him. So then it leaves me Virgil van Dijk, Gabriel, or Calvert-Lewin. And I just thought, if my guts tell me to sign Calvert-Lewin this week, I'll just put him captain. The vice captain can be Virgil. I think this is a lineup I'm going to go with, which leaves 2 super subs. But obviously I'm not selling them because the next 2 fixtures after this are quite nice and they play Gameweek 31. So yeah, this is going to be my lineup. Calvert-Lewin's a very questionable captain. But sometimes you've got to take the risk, and to be honest, if this all goes wrong, I'm so confident in my back 6, my goalie, my back 5, looks solid. They done me well last week. Saliba 10 points, Gabriel 9 points, Nunes 6, Kanate 1, Virgil 7, Raya 3 points I think, so they done me well last week, and I'm sure they'll do me well again. Hopefully Bruno Semenyo, one of them can return, and then out the front 3, hopefully 2 of them return. And we'll go from there. And then next week can bring these 2 men back in. And hopefully, come next game week, we are at least overall rank top 400k. And then we can start getting into our chips. And over the next 5 weeks, I look to be a lot higher. Now, let me know what you think of this team. I know it seems a bit daft leaving these 2 on the bench, but just with Newcastle away, St James's Park, one of the toughest places to go in the league, in my opinion, especially when Newcastle get it right. So I'll either prove a genius player or I'll get absolutely humbled, and Man U will destroy Newcastle. So time will tell on that one. And again, I would just briefly look at the Premier League Gameweek 29 clean sheet odds, powered by FFS Scout, or FF Scout, Fantasy Football Scout. Took this from Twitter, and all credit goes to them, obviously. But as we can see, Everton the highest, 44% chance, but what we can see is Man City 42, so I've got Nunes. Liverpool 40%, I've got Kanate, Virgil van Dijk. Arsenal 38%, and I've got my triple Arsenal, Gabriel Saliba, and then obviously Raya. So out of my back 6 that I told you I'm confident of, 3 out of the top 4 are where the team comes from. So I'm confident in that. And then obviously Liverpool, they're playing Wolves. I've got Etikite, 10% chance of a Wolves clean sheet. Where's Newcastle? So Man U are meant to score. And then I've obviously got Calvert-Lewin against Sunderland, who had 20% chance of a clean sheet. And then Brentford. So yeah, this is going to be my team going into Game Week 29. Overall rank currently sits at 373k. Hopefully I do well this week. I feel like I've got the safe defence, the back 6, and then hopefully my front 5 can be a bit differential, especially the front 3, and get me above average with hopefully very common players like Mbeumo and like Rodgers playing Chelsea. Hopefully they can blank and we can have a good week. So again, that's going to be all for this video, my third ever FPL video. If you do enjoy this content so far, please smash the like button, as it will be greatly appreciated as I'm trying to grow this channel. And yeah, I know I'm using the FPL app, and I've just taken a screenshot off Twitter and opened it on images and showed you the clean sheet odds. But when I watch the good FPL YouTubers, they've all got these fancy graphics, and I'm building them in the background as we speak. So I know everyone's dopamine from watching TikTok reels, Instagram reels, and just scrolling all day. So this is probably a bit boring, not fancy enough for them. But the graphics are coming. But if you find value in what I'm producing, which is what I'm trying to get value across, not just fancy graphics. Obviously my rank, top 373k last season, top 70k, so I'm not an absolute noob. I have somewhat knowledge. So yeah, that's what I'm looking to do, just record FPL videos, talk about football because I love football. And yeah, if you enjoy what I do, smash that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and I will see you in the next one.